welcome to this episode of the DJ Interview with your host, Harry the Bigdog.
And that is me, Harry the Bigdog. Welcome, everybody, to the DJ Interview starring me, hosted by me, edited by me. Am I on me today? I am here today. It was warm here in Virginia today. I think it got up to like 91 degrees. I don't know what it was like everywhere else, but as you're rolling in, put in the chat where you are coming from and who you are, and we are gonna get started momentarily. Well, we went back to the West Coast, and I dug in the crates and pulled out this DJ. and he was absolutely killing it back in the day. Even got a couple of jams out, which I'll see if we can play that. Maybe I'll cut off all the streams except for Mixcloud. Have everybody go over to Mixcloud and play his records. But they is dope, and dope is in the word. So one of the things that we do here at the DJ Interview is we look for DJs all over. So West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, and we've had a lot of DJs from all over, mainly East Coast, but we did get into the Midwest. We did get into the West Coast. Had one from Canada. So, without further ado, let's bring on our next DJ. DJ Prince Ice. What's going on, bro?
Big dog. What it is, man? How you doing?
I am.
Thank you for having me, brother. Appreciate you, man.
We got Jeff in the house.
My man, BTP
from the
Media
Bay
Group.
Area.
Jeff. My brother from another mother. What's going on, Jeff?
Yes, sir. We are put in the chat where you are coming from. West, what was the weather like out there today?
Oh, I'm working by the beach, so it was close to about 80 degrees, but I live in the valley, close to about 90 degrees. So me and Virginia were very close.
Really? Because it was unusually hot here.
Yeah, and it doesn't rain in Southern California. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it did. It just a storm just passed by. Not more than like 10 minutes ago. I don't know if it's still raining out, but man, it's like that. And it must have cooled everything off. So let's get started, bro.
Humid here either. Yes, sir. Make it happen.
So let everybody know your government name if you want, your DJ name, and how you started in this DJ industry.
Okay, so government name being Richard. I'm known as DJ Prince Ice. I started out, I would say, early 80s. Started from breakdancing. Used to breakdance for a company called San Francisco Ballet Breakers, which was a real hush-hush big deal up in the Bay, especially in San Francisco. And they used to have all the uppity money from all the people that used to sponsor them and go to their shows and whatnot. And we used to, for a young kid, I used to make a lot of money breakdancing. So with that being said, I used to make all the music for us breakdancing. Not, all the records we used to use were pretty close in tempo, so they didn't have to really mix that well. But I had a pause button on my cassette deck, which was editing just like bam, bam, perfect. So I used to use that to put all the bits and pieces of the records that were hot together so that we could show. And we used that for a good while. It was towards the end. So after that whole, breakdancing ended here, and everybody was like, oh, I'm not going to breakdance anymore, whatever. We just gradually verged into the mixture community and mixing and doing clubs and stuff.
Now, what was your first setup? Your DJ setup? I know.
Oh
I know some of
man.
us had the bootleg stuff. Some of us had the all-in-one. What was your first?
Oh my God. You don't even want to go. That's a loaded question for me. Jeff knows, because me and one of the local Bay Area rappers, his name is Big Mac. And when we were younger, I had a handful of records. He had a handful of records. He had the mixer, one of those realistics without a crossfade,
Yep.
without a master,
Radio Shack.
without a master fader. So all you pretty much had your, left and your right turntable. That's all the volume that was in there. And there was a switch in here between line and phono. So that's why we all learned how to scratch like this.
Yep.
The crossfader it was non-existent in this mixer, so it was just the up and down fader. So
you go back to the mixes with the knobs and everything.
Oh yeah, that was did those two. It'd be funny because at some clubs I DJ'd at, all they had was those knobs that you had. Which is, great for what you want to do, because you can get your levels just about perfect every time.
Yeah.
Every time you mix, if it's not loud enough, you just turn the knob a little more and you're good. So
Mike,
history of how
checking in.
What's up, Mr. Padilla? That's DJ
705
out of 702 now. What's up, Mr. Blade?
So, this is amazing, because, the stuff that you've done, now where was all this DJing happening? What part of this United States?
This was out of San Francisco when I first started. Back to that question that you had. So me and Big Mac got, a little stack of records that we had. I bought a whole bunch, some from his mom, whatever. We all had a little, maybe a box full of records between the two of us. A lot of Run DMC records and whatnot. Yeah, maybe that was like our whole investment right there. And I had a Sony turntable, and he had one of those 3-in-1s, with the cassette deck, the radio, and the tone arm. They used to, switch records for you when.
Yeah.
So we had one of those, which the platter was like this big, and the record used to stick out like from the end of it, like you would stick out like that. It was a smaller platter, but that with a little nickel on top or a quarter. I don't remember what we used to use. I think we used a quarter, and we used to scratch the hell out of that record. And it wasn't a platter. So what you would do is you put a 12-inch down, and then something that you weren't using, and then you put a piece of paper on top of that, and you put another record on top of that. So that would be like. But hey,
oh man,
no pitch control. So we had to manually speed up the record or slow down the record so that it would blend. So the records had to be really close in tempo. You couldn't be crazy like this, plus.
Yeah, like
today,
now.
We'll make it fit. Hey, dude, I don't know if you're going to use a shoehorn on that or not. It's not going to work.
GMS is saying that Prince Ice is a legend.
Oh, GMS is my dog. What's going on, brother? Hope you're good, man. GMS is down with your boy that you interviewed last week. Nasty.
I know. That's how I got
That's
the
my
hookup.
dogs.
That's how I got the hookup. I interviewed GMS a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's my dogs. Yeah.
We
have a lot of
y'all got a whole nice clique that's going on.
Well, it's when you're at this, in this plateau, we all know each other. There's no mountains, so we're all kind of we've been humbled by each other, and then we're gracious to know each other. It's just like, I got an opportunity to work with Ness when I was at Hits Magazine. He used to come to our wake up show and host whenever he was in town. So he's been, he's like a family member. That's how far back we go. Much love and respect to my man Grant Mixer GMS.
Yep. He's saying
Solid,
what's
baby.
up. So now,
Yeah.
the Bay Area back in the day, and I talked to you guys from the West Coast. You guys didn't really have a sound yet, and you got all your music from the East Coast. Did they have places out there
Well,
that you went, or you kind of had a hookup from somewhere?
no, what happened was, well, for me, what had happened was I used to have friends and acquaintances that used to go to New York. And, every time somebody would go to New York, you'd be like, hey, dude, here's a bunch of money, buy the dopest records that are out right now. And if you go anywhere, dude, I need a pair of shell toes size 10 and a half.
Everybody has shell toe Adidas.
You think? Still represent.
Oh, bro. Have that near me. That I can show you. I got it on my door. I got that. That's my Adidas door.
Yeah, absolutely. We're from that group. It's all Pumas and Adidas for us. Yeah, I'm glad you got the new Jordans. I like them too, but just the way that they're just a little bit wider. Nikes are a little bit tighter. You have to get a half size bigger, so you're tripping people across the street when you walk in.
We got Chris Gloss checking in. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Chris? Welcome to the party.
Oh, GMS is saying he remembered DJs would cop your mixes, and we gonna get into that. We gonna show that stuff. Oh man,
We got it was our whole community. It was between me, my boy King Tech, and the youngest member of our crew was Joe Quicks, the Latin soul brother, which eventually was the Wake Up Show. And then Sway came to join the team. Sway was right after we started breakdancing. Sway joined the team. He was the MC. He was the Flynamic Force. We Want to Rock You, and we put that record out. So if anybody got that record, feel lucky, because we only did like 1,000 of those too. And a lot of that history was the camaraderie. Even the guys that came here when I was DJing over there, we were all, we were a band of brothers, all not disrespectfully, but amicably, we all used to compete. So whatever you did this week, I would have to listen to that, and I would have to try to outdo what you did.
Right.
What I did that week. So it was always a boiling point of just, and he would be sitting there and he would listen to it and be like, my man Glenn Oury, who's one, if you listen to our Twitch on Saturday nights, it's the All-Star Saturday nights.
Right.
From your, we'd be about 5 o'clock Pacific time, which is about 8 o'clock your time.
Right.
We go all through the night. I go about 11 your time. And we all go one by one. And it's still, you can feel that whole energy that we used to bring back in the day today.
Oh,
everybody always trying to do the great stuff, and just to make it boil and feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the kids today, who people call push button DJs or whatever. Listen, I love technology too, but push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah.
I
see some of them do, and I be sitting there.
I'm not saying they don't. There is definitely, I'm talking majority as opposed to minority that do. Because the minority, I know there's some dudes out there that are just like, man, flaming.
Yo,
like, God, did you hear that? But that's a small group. I think on Twitch, it's more of a social media event. all your friends and their cousins' friends and their friends, and it's a friend. We got maybe what 20 people, but these 20 people like that sound and understand that sound. That's
Right.
keep coming back, and they understand what we're trying to bring about. You know,
Yeah.
you don't. It's a lot to say, but we're not. You don't have to, with today's technology, start a record at one. You could start that record at 30 and bring it back to one and do all kinds of crazy. I mean, there's a lot of avenues that you can explore. You just got to be wise enough to know that, oh, we can do it this way, or we can do it.
Right.
I
Right.
DJs that are super dope that are like, yo, when technology first came out, they were like, man, all the house records usually go and drop and then bring the energy back up and go and drop the energy again. So for a while, it's just like, dudes are like, nah, man, I'll just take it straight to the meat. I blow the dance floor up and go to the next piece, go to the meat, and just constantly going that way. That way,
Right.
you never have one of those moments where you have to sit there and wait for the beat to come back. Or just you're gonna have to stand around and clap all day, or you and your friends are sitting there whistling when music comes back. It's just constantly hitting you hard, and that works with every music. It's not just house music or any other kind of music.
Right. Let me do a reset. What's up, everyone? This is Harry the Big Dog. This is DJ
The big
Interview,
dog.
and we have DJ Prince Ice here. We got a few people on the check-in. We got international DJ Tommy Lee in the place to be.
Tommy Lee.
We got DJ P Nice checking in.
What's up, P Nice?
We got DJ Don Julio.
Love my
Checking
Don
in.
Julio, man. That's my brother right there. What's up, Don Julio?
Word, what's up, Don? He said, salute legend. Yeah.
Oh, he's the man, dude. Nothing but love, brother.
GMS is saying friendly competition helped to elevate, and the listeners benefited from hearing some of the great mixes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
exactly what
believe
we
that's
try.
true.
It wasn't done to, even when we look at it today, it's not like I'm trying to go up there and be like, oh man, you suck. Oh, dude, you suck. You don't understand. There's a lot of great DJs out there.
Yep.
The Bay had some great bones. In that, I mean, we have people like Hubert, Mike, there's, all Cameron Pauls and the Michael Ericksons. They were masters of their, if you want to look at it as a martial artist, they were the masters. They created stuff that made you go,
Yep.
what's up, Steph?
We got Steph, one of our project Eden Wall peoples up in the Bronx. What's up, Steph? DJ Don Julio saying he appreciates you.
Oh, that's my man. I got nothing.
Out there.
That's my
bro.
cousin. He knows what I'm talking about.
He must be legend out there. Mike is saying, Don Julio, my brother.
Yeah,
So-
he's family to all of us.
You know what? I want to show these these joints you got, which is, pretty crazy because some of us might have these jams. Let me share my screen.
If you were DJing in those years,
we'll be able to talk over it. Yeah. If you're
If
a
you were-
DJ, you probably seen these records.
yeah,
And this is the Prince Ice you're talking to. This is back in when? 1990?
this is the second. This is the second one. This is 1990. I'm sorry, 1989 and 88 is when I dropped these records. The
Mhm.
88. This was 89, and people still talk about the Orange record. Oh man, that's the best. That's the best. That's the best. And this one to me has, it's a lot more trickery and better thought out and laid out and whatnot. but the records on the orange one, which is that one,
dope mix. It is a dope mix, bro. I listened to this thing like 4 times already.
Oh yeah, that record. The only thing that did me was that 45 RPM, man. I would have sold a ton more because people, I created this so you need 2 copies, and
Yeah.
be able to spin it back and forth and backspin it and whatnot. But this one is done with better songs. But the second issue, which is the magenta one, is
Right.
done with better quality for the DJ. But the records aren't as hot as the orange one because there was only so much time between when the orange one dropped and 3 months later I only got so many records.
Right. So many newer ones, right?
Right. There's only so many newer
lot.
ones that are not on the orange one that you want to put here. Now, let's say if I had some banging ass records on this magenta,
the orange one
would have been like, wow, that one.
Yo, that is like mad dope, bro. Mad dope.
It wasn't the first mega mix that anybody ever put out or anything like that, because Cameron Paul used to put all the ones, but it was more of the way that we did it.
Right.
It was more of a statement. It was a system of putting this mix together that was never done before.
Right.
You had people, yeah, sure. He would play 2 records that were great, and then all of a sudden throw in, a couple, maybe a rap record or 2. But these are popular rap records like Rock the Bells from LL Cool J, or, some from Mantronic or Beastie Boys, some huge. Wouldn't be necessarily digging to play some, De La Soul or things of that sort. That would be the way to do it. And we were the first dudes to ever put like an acapella over a beat. If you listen to that orange record, you're gonna hear that piece where it goes, it's got Ice-T, Colors. It starts with the acapella, and it actually was gonna be, the whole piece was gonna be acapella, but they complained that no, it's too much of the record. We can't do it. I'll have to put it in colors. So that's how that whole thing went down. But we did a lot of what people are taking for granted today.
Yeah.
We created that, and people are like, man, how come you don't listen to more DJs? How come you don't listen? See, as a DJ, we didn't listen to a lot of more DJs, maybe just a couple of the friends, because I don't want tomorrow for somebody to come up to me and be like, hey, dude, I did this first. You heard it on my mix. That's why you copied it and did your thing. They can never say, because I don't listen to that many DJs.
Nice. So what I'm thinking about doing and seriously thinking about doing, let me put it both up, is playing these things. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut off Facebook and YouTube and all of them and just leave up Mixcloud. I'm streaming to like 9 different places right now.
I see that, dude. You're a super juggler.
And stream and just go to Mixcloud. So what I'll do is let me put my Mixcloud in there, and what we'll do is go to Mixcloud and we'll play these records, because I can listen to it again.
Oh, I appreciate
orange one
that.
is dope. It's about 6 minutes, 7 minutes long.
Well, it's 8 minutes and some, but a minute of the end is just beats and stuff that we created ourselves. Tech had made those beats for me to mix out of.
Yeah.
So that at the end is pretty much beats. But all what you hear, this whole mix you're gonna hear, was originally done on Reel to Reel when I was mixing at KSOL. And
the same Reel to Reel you got behind you. When we were talking earlier.
No, it was actually an older one than that. That's probably 2 generations later. But it was all edited by hand and put together. So when you hear all the tempo changes and stuff like that, those were all done with Reel to Reel. Now this is quantized because my boy Tech was real fluent on the SB 1200. So
Right.
I gave him the segments, and then he went from this segment, he switched it up to this segment, switched it up to this segment. Now there's a piece on that record where Mark V punched the wrong whatchamacallit, and we lost the hi-hats. It's right towards the end when you're gonna hear Kid and Play. And
Right.
Train. Dun, 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 dun. You're gonna hear the hi-hats go out and the hi-hats coming after that. People think, hey, he did it on purpose. Not really.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I just was like,
it fits because we have to, we have to cultivate it and, just sand it down a little bit over here, sand it down a little bit over there, and make it work. But it worked. It just, people think it's done on purpose, but it wasn't.
So yo, tell us about your record career. I know you started off as a DJ, but then you got into this. Were you a producer?
No, I always did some remixes here and there, but I did promo. I did promo work. I worked at Priority, did retail promotion, then I did Relativity, worked at Beat Knots, Common, all Bone Thugs and Harmony, a lot of big records of that age, DJ Honda, a lot of great hip hop stuff, Mo Thugs. And then I went to Restless Records with Warren G. I Want It All with Dr. Dre,
right,
and Nate Dogg and everybody. We did that record, and then we flipped it again. And I went to Epic Records, worked Michael Jackson, J Lo, B2K, all number ones just in a row. So
you was doing it. Where all your plaques in the back?
Well, I'm in the office right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll send you a picture of all the plaques, bro.
Oh, I know you got like 1,000,000 of them.
Oh yeah, I did the Wake Up Show with Sway and Tech for years, and when I was also working at Priority, got a ton of test pressings. I was getting test pressings before I was doing the Wake Up Show, because the Wake Up Show really flipped off of my mix show with me and King Tech. Because, we was roomies, and, we would have 4 turntables hooked up, and we would do some crazy shit. And since I was a whiz at editing, we'd do some crazy stuff. He had a sequential drum machine because the SB1200 wasn't even out. It wasn't popular yet. It wasn't out. It was the SB12, I think. The 1200 came later with longer sampling time and everything. But he started out with the sequential, and he would flip the drums and drop all the stuff that you take for granted, and then we would put, we would put the acapella from Girls I Got 'Em Locked. And write that, edit that, go on to the next piece, do some LL Cool J stuff we did with Rock the Bells. He would go, LL Cool J, it be hard as hell. LL Cool J, it be hard as hell. L hard as hell. Doof, 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 doof. Get down to the funky beat. So all that stuff that you hear on this record was done we actually did that in that way on Reel to Reel.
Wow. That was,
I think,
dude,
that
was innovative. I mean, people got to hear this thing. I'm going to share the link too, but I want everybody to come and enjoy it with us. So
absolutely. I think that mix is also the original mix. If you go to it's on Mixcloud. Somebody posted it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna play it live.
Yeah.
On Mixcloud. Mixcloud/DJ interview. Mixcloud.com/DJ interview. We're gonna do that right after we finish doing this interview.
Perfect.
So with all of this success and everything, your DJ career, did you travel or go out the country, anything?
Not like that. Okay, so social media wasn't that popular when I was DJing. It was non-existent.
Roger.
I can just imagine if I had me a phone camera and I'd take one picture of my dance floor because you could probably throw a quarter at 11:30 it would never hit the dance floor till after they start sweeping up at 2. It was that packed. And this is on a Friday and Saturday basis on a regular. This happened and happened and happened. And this is, I was blessed that I was working at KMEL right during the best 90s hip hop era.
Right.
I got a chance to break all the Tribe Called Quest, and between me and the Wake Up Show, we just killed it. All the gang stars, all the, I remember when the guy came from EMI and he had the Gangstar test pressings in his hand, and he was like, "Ice, I got this for you, man." I'm like, really? Put it on. I'm queuing it up. I got you. And that was the end of that one. Because, Gangster was one of my favorite artists anyway.
Right.
But, you never know. Somebody shows up with a record, like, I don't know about that. We have some Bay Area legends that came by that, E40 was there. JT the Bigger Figure always coming through. And then he had a test pressing in his hand. So he comes through. He's like, "Hey, dude, can you play this record for me?" I'm like, I'm not a big fan of Bay Area rap,
right.
at that level. I'm into listening to Rakim and, you know what I'm saying?
You was straight up East Coast, huh?
Right. So I'm a hip hop dude, hip hop at heart, breakdancer, graffiti artist, rhyme sayer, whatever. We were all DJ, the whole nine. And, this is kind of Dr. Seussish to me, I got a big hat. It's more of an attitude than it is rhyme level. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have that attitude and that say and that those slangs and things of that sort that fits with the crowd. So I'm like,
right.
Okay, this dude is there day in and day out, right? Every weekend, he's always there.
Right.
Just give me the record. I'll play it. I'm looking at my clock. And it's a little bit past 11:30. My dance floor is just starting to pop. I'm like, I'll save face. I'll play the record. And, if the dance floor clears out, it's still early. I'll play a big ass hit. Everybody comes back. We'll be good to go. So I'm listening to it. I'm going, this is not really a bad record, man. This is all right for a Bay Area record. It's pretty decent. So lo and behold, this is a test pressing, dude. He just got this that day from Rain.
Right.
So I'm queuing it up and I throw it in and the crowd screams.
Really?
I'm like, holy shit. They're singing along on a test pressing. This dude did his homework, was selling records out of the trunk of his car, cassettes, singles, whatever. Everybody knew the record but me. And I'm the
wow.
You know what I mean?
And you was the DJ.
And I'm the DJ, and I got the test pressing in my hand. I'm like, dude, I gotta play this in the meat of the night when it's all hot and everybody's there.
Right.
Sure enough, I bring the record back, throw it in, the crowd goes nuts. Everybody along, he's standing there just cheesing because he's loving all that love, all that, everybody. And I'm like, oh man. So I go to the station, I sit with the program director, and I'm like, yo, dude, you got to play this record. What record? So we sat there and I played on his turntable. I played for him. And he's like, I don't know. It's a little gangster. I'm like, gangster? You got to understand. This club that I do, we don't pass out flyers.
Right.
Kiss babies and shake.
People just find out.
The only way you know about this club is if you listen to the radio station because we advertise. So if you want a sample of your audience, right here. We're not gonna play it, man. Yeah, okay, we'll play it. We'll play it after 10. It's real gangster. 10 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, noon. This is all within a week. It started at 10, all day parts next week. That's how many phone calls I got.
Wow.
Every time it got played, people were like, "Hello, oh my God, you gotta play this record." So that was old. Now, right about the time that dropped, a couple of weeks later, you got Players Club from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, he's over there. Come on, dude, you gotta play this record. I'm like, oh my God, really? I'm listening to it. I'm listening to it. Fine, I'll play it. Crowd screams. Okay, we'll play this one too. So,
Killing
you
it.
know, because
Killing
it
it.
was, yeah, it was, you know, the feel of that record was a little bit, you know, I'll tell them a little bit about Club 412 and the Stone. It was a little bit different in terms of energy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little more laid back and relaxed, you know, and I'm more of a, you know, so you got to fit it in right, you know. Jeff wants me to talk a little bit about Club 412 and
Now explain to us East Coast people what club 412 and the Stone is.
okay, the Stone was a concert venue. You know, you used to get people like Beastie Boys come in and a lot of
Okay.
bands, Kiss, Journey, whatever. These were there after, you know, nighttime happened because during the day it was a concert venue. After nighttime, it became Club 412, where the resident DJ was Cameron Paul.
Okay.
He was a big freestyle electro dude in the Bay Area, total legend. I had the pleasure of working with him, and I would open up and I would close because the club would go to 6 in the morning,
Right.
and you know he would come in 11:30. You know, so
Mm.
between 10 and 11:30, I'm mixing, and then he comes in, sets his records up, goes to about 2:33 in the morning, and then I take over from 3 in the morning all the way to 6 in the morning. So it was a learning experience to learn. I don't know if you ever played freestyle records.
I did. I
Okay,
still
so if
like it.
you
Little
okay,
Susie,
if
Cynthia,
you
and all of them.
right,
Chloe.
all those were hand edited. You know, Chep Nunez and the what you call the all that
Yeah.
stuff is hand edited. He would just sit there and edit the tape to, you know, it's not like today where it's all quantized and whatnot,
Right.
right? So this dude would know his record so well that when it would roll through he knew he had to slow it down right here and push it maybe a little bit over here so it would be dead on beat. So I
Mm.
learned that from watching him, you know, just doing all this stuff. I'm like, man, he's like metronome all day long. You know, occasionally, you know, you're not a robot. Every once in a while, something would happen where something would go off, but he would
Right.
do that so well that the normal person wouldn't even get it unless you're watching him, like I was in the DJ booth, just you know, trying to learn and
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You
figure
ever
it out.
seen anybody on that 2-inch tape doing doing cuts and stuff on the 2-inch tape? You know, the tapes that
Well,
was
the
like
2 inch tape only
jagged.
gets cut, yeah, only gets cut in order for, you know, you don't edit on that. You edit on a 1/4 inch. When
Okay.
mastered, you edit it on the 1/4 inch. On the 2 inch tape, if you mess up or something and you got to put the tape together or, you know, just take the piece out, that's when you do it. But you don't do the final edits on the 2 inch tape. That's just, you know, that's 16 tracks at least. Yeah,
Right.
Nunez, right?
He's not here.
You know, the Latin Rascals would be the other ones that would be all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Robin. Latin Rascals. Oh man, you bringing back all types of memories now.
Well, that's where the whole background happened.
Yeah.
It was all, for me, it was always, I used to get tapes from friends and whatnot. Oh man, from Kiss, check this out, Latin Rascals. And I'm listening to it and it's like 5 minutes of funk and he's blowing it up and editing it to another piece. So that's where the whole editing with the pause tape started.
Right.
You know what I mean? And lo and behold, I had a dual cassette and a turn. So the pause button, you play some of these pieces and you pause, mix them into the other pieces. So you would have some of the great, Latin Rascal pieces within the record that you wanted. And
Right. Yo,
just
people got innovative back in the day. We
right.
used to play with the pause, the pause and the record and
Just
count
get them
beats and
right.
then hit
Exactly.
record.
You would actually record and hold a pause, and as soon as you part would come, you would let go of the pause,
Yep.
and then it would be perfect. And then you pause right where you needed to pause,
Oh,
and then
I
you
had I had
record
one of my
again.
boys, George. He was a master at that. Oh man, George Jones, if you here, say something. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
those
gonna
were.
do? I'm gonna put the chat on so people can see. So whatever chats come in, y'all be nice. No foul language and everything. Whatever chats come in, they gonna see it here. But yeah, man. So now you were into the radio thing. GMS is saying good point. Wonder if he remembers hearing Cameron
Oh
Paul
yeah,
throw in the original
Cameron
mix for
Paul was a
Push It.
West Coast legend, dude. Even I'm sure a lot of people in New York even knew about Cameron Paul. Cameron
Mm-hmm.
Paul won a lot of DJ contests when DJ contest wasn't about cutting.
Right.
Was about DJing and putting pieces together. And, you would cut a record, but you would, you mix, cut, and, just for speed and whatnot. It was a different ball game. Now you go to a DJ competition, it's just straight, DJ
And he's
competition.
from that Bay Area too?
Scratch. How much can you flip it and echo it and, you know what I'm saying, chase it,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
He's from that Bay Area too?
Oh, Cameron Paul is definitely a Bay Area legend. Him and Michael Erickson, both of which are, rest in peace right now.
Yeah, Jeff is saying he did the remix for Push It.
Yeah, put that one right on the map too. He did Push It. He did Beastie Boys. To me, that's his best remix. For
Which one?
Brass Monkey.
Brass Monk. Okay.
Yeah, because he really flipped that record. That whole Salt and Pepper remix that he did, that those hi hats that he did, whatever. Then he put out his own record, Ride. And if you hear it, you hear a lot of similarities to the way he had done it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, bro. So now, what are you doing nowadays?
Now I work for Universal Music Group, which is where I am right now, and I do all the AV work here. What is
Okay.
in terms of, I set up all the A&Rs with their systems, and I create conference rooms, and I do, I'm a Zoom specialist, so I do a lot of Zoom. We have D10 TVs that create Zoom with touch hand over here where you can do your meetings, and I set up Apple TVs and whatnot. Just all the, people come here and do presentations and stuff like that. And when they have meetings and they want to run reels and things of that sort, spread out a computer with the sound system just blazing. So
That's that's pretty dope. That's kind of what I do on the side right now.
yeah, this is like one of my little conference rooms. If you look around, you can see.
Oh yeah, nice. I had to look.
Yeah.
So yo, did I hear you say y'all had a radio station
Um,
or you were on the radio?
I was on the radio. I was at KSOL and KMEL in the Bay. Then I came to LA. I was at Kiss FM for a minute. And then I was at 92.3 The Beat, where we did the Wake Up Show. And we were syndicated like almost all over the country
Right.
and Europe. Me, Sway, Tech. That was all about 95 to 97 is when I was doing that.
Mm. Yo, so what do you think about the newer equipment? Do you still have any of your equipment, your turntables, anything?
I have all of it. I even have my, Mackie board and, the classic ones, not the newer ones. But yeah, I do have quite a bit of equipment.
You got all your vinyl too?
I
Or you
do
got
have some of my vinyl. I did get yanked on a few pieces that that I didn't know because Japanese came in. If you don't get rid of some of the records, you become a hoarder. You know what I mean? I don't need 6 copies of Phenomenon by LL Cool J. I just don't. 2 copies will suffice. You could take 4 of them and give it to somebody that wants them, whatever. So
right.
they bought a lot of vinyl from me. You know,
Wow.
in the midst of those, couple of my gems went missing too. Because
Mm.
he would pick all these records off the shelf and he would put them. Then I would go through them and I'd be like, "Nah, you can't have this one. Nah, you can't have that one. Or nah, you can't have this one." But somehow I had a show record that Mantronic gave me that had his scratch sounds and stuff like that he wanted. He had a test pressing bill, so I didn't want to get rid of that, but I can't find it.
Mm.
I'm sure somewhere in Japan.
Got jacked.
Gotcha. Because you can't replace that.
Oh no, you cannot. It's harder to find vinyl. I mean, I still have a lot of mine, and I still collect vinyl. And when you go to some places, they dirty, they moldy, so you don't want to either mess with them or you'll get it
And it's
and
crackly and
attempt to
nasty. You
clean
can't use
it.
it anyway. Yeah.
You got to wear a mask for real. Digging now.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those records you can't find anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I have test pressings of records from the Beatnuts that's never going to come out. That never
Wow.
moved. I mean, I have
And they're gone.
Uber on it. That's never going to come out. You're not even going to find that on a streaming platform.
Mm.
You can't say, "Oh, I'm going on Spotify and listen to this record," because it's not there.
Right.
Never got approved. They never put it out. I have a record somewhere that has Tupac in it, and it's a test pressing, and that never okay to come out.
It's a shame that people do stuff like that, but stuff happens.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
mean, that for him, he's that's a gem for him.
right.
I would charge my arm and a leg if I was going to part with it anyway.
So I want to listen to this record. I want to listen. Let me ask you this: did this virus upset anything that y'all were doing or getting into?
Not that I mean, the company shut down for a good year and something. I'm just barely coming back with 7, 8 people.
Wow.
And this building is 600 people.
Wow.
So there's a bunch of security people. There's a bunch of executives. They come in, about 8 or 9 of them, and we make sure everything is handled properly and make sure everything is good to go. Whatever they need, we're there.
Wow. That is a lot. Jeez. 600 and now it's only like 8 of y'all?
Yeah, but it was good to us because people stayed home and streamed. So that was
Yeah.
nothing new for us.
Right. So I want to go over to Mixcloud. Let me pop this thing back up. So everybody, whoever's here, going over to Mixcloud because we're gonna take a break and then kind of end this thing on a high note.
Bring it.
Listening to the dope mix, and it actually says it on there. And I'm saying like, yo, this is a dope mix, not realizing it's in the title already.
Yeah, name of the record, Dope Mix Volume 1.
Oh
Yes.
man, if you guys got any last questions before you go over to Mixcloud. let us know. Again, this is Harry the Big Dog, and this
Big
is the
dog.
DJ interview, and we have DJ Prince Ice here. Yeah. GMS is saying uh great interview with a legend.
Oh my
Ah,
man. I'm seriously humbled, man. Every time I talk to this guy, one of the best dudes I think I've ever got a chance to be partners with. Appreciate
yeah.
the picture. Always, man. Thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, good dude, good dude. I talked to him a few times, and good dude, bro. So, let me see how I don't even know if I could do this. Nope. Ah, the way I set this up, I'm not able to cut them off. Oh man, you have been. All right. I know. I get one of them. Boo. Wait.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, it's out there. If anybody wants to hear it, they can go ahead and check it out. It's always a pleasure. Like last questions you got, I'd be happy to answer.
Yeah. While we're getting to that, let everybody know how they can stay in contact with you.
You can always follow me on Instagram, DJ underscore Prince Ice. And then we do Saturday night, all the All Stars that I was telling you, all the DJs, we start out old and new, and we start out at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Twitch. So that would be just DJ Prince Ice on Twitch. I'm usually on about 8 p.m. my time, which is 11 p.m. East Coast Standard Time.
Right. Okay. Definitely we'll catch that. Any Instagrams, Facebooks, anything?
Yeah, Facebook is Prince Ice. I'll be honest, man. Best way to get in contact with me is IG DJ underscore Prince Ice. I'll be damned if It's usually the reason why I'm not that much on Facebook anymore is because it's a copy of. I gotta say I like it here. I gotta go over there and say I like it there because everybody's dual. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I might go there once every couple of months or a month or so just to see if I missed anything or anybody left me a direct message or anything like that. Other than that, Instagram will do.
So
My man,
I got a last question. DJ Don Julio is saying
oh, I love that
awesome
dude, man. That's
interview.
my dude.
Yeah. So one of my next to last questions is, you know, with the new DJs coming up, what do you as a veteran DJ tell this new person that don't have any contacts, don't have any knowledge of this business, and they want to get into game? What do you tell that DJ?
It's hard for me to really, what the new kids are doing. Everybody sees and repeats and sees and repeats, and I don't. It's hard for me to listen to a lot of the new kids because they don't. As an artist, as
Mm-hmm.
artist, that it's an art for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
DJing is an art. It's not that, you know, it's like it's like me inviting somebody to a drawing contest and they're drawing and it's stick figures, but everybody in the audience is like, whoa. And you're sitting there with a Picasso and people are going like, yeah, I don't like the blues in that.
like what?
It's
A
a little
stick
too
figure?
blue.
It took me 6 months to do this painting, and this
Right.
dude took more than 6 seconds to draw out a couple of
You
sticks.
know, you think you're playing Pictionary. Yeah.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's not, for me, I think that the technology is making the new generation lazy.
Mm.
It's great that, I mean, it was new for a minute. I think a lot of people wanted to be video DJs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing video DJs, but listen, man, if you're playing a video and I'm playing a video and he's playing a video, our whole page looks the same
Right.
because you're watching a video.
Mm-hmm.
And as a disc jockey, why would you want to play a video and have everybody look up like this from the dance floor?
You know what?
It doesn't make sense.
In their defense, it is visually nice, but I understand what you're saying. For how long, though?
No, but I'm saying you got the whole audience doing this.
Yeah.
You know, and they're on your dance floor and everything instead of paying attention to each other. And you know what I mean? With the whole social media, I think it's creating a little bit of a lack for people don't know how to communicate with each other no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, can you go so and so? Oh, here it comes with the water. You know what I mean? It's not, people don't go ask people or, hey, can I get a refund? Nothing. Do you want to text somebody, man? Can I get a refund?
Yeah.
I don't like the way this tastes. You don't want
people
confront.
sitting at the table and everybody got their phones in front of them.
Right. So that's, about the new DJs. It's just that, they don't want to push the envelope anymore. They don't want to create something that's, unique. It's art,
Yeah.
People don't, people now, you have a crate from here to San Jose, right? You got records. The little crate you got behind you. You all, you know why? Because I got the hard drive from you that you got from your cousin that he got from his friends from
all the same music.
Nephew, and all of a sudden you got all the records, not even 4 or 5 of the same record, with different quality, and all of a sudden we all had the same music.
Yeah.
How many of us know the music? And how many of us see? Because we all have the same music. All of a sudden, you're playing this, you're playing that, you're playing this, you're playing that. But listen, those two records don't necessarily go together. Different hi-hat sounds, different whatchamacallit. You're better off putting this together. So when you're jumping in and you're jumping out, and you're jumping in and you're jumping out, it doesn't necessarily sound good. It's okay because, I like this record and I like that record and I like that record. And that's what's happening. Stick figures. You got, I like this guy. Oh, that reminds me of that guy. Oh, this reminds me of that guy. But they're not part of the family, man.
Right.
It's just the way you want to create something and be, and really be able to hear it. The hi-hat, people don't even hear melodies. I don't even want to go there. I'm talking about some basic beats and stuff, right? You're listening to stuff and it's like, okay, that hi-hat doesn't necessarily go with the song. And this hi-hat, they're crashing, but you don't hear it because you hear the snare, meet the snare, whatever. Okay, way longer. It's an 808 clap. This one is way shorter. It's a hip-hop boom back clap. It's different. Those go together better. These go together better. You got to find a way to bridge these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can play this and you can play that, but you just don't play them every other song.
Right.
Play them in a chunk here and a chunk there, and then you bridge them together. People don't know why they go to a club and all of a sudden they be like, man, I had the best time tonight. It was great. Yeah, but why was he great? They don't think of it that way.
Right.
Oh, man. He was just, because the flow of the music was different than you used to. It wasn't flowing in the same way. My man GMS knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He said great.
It ain't about, it ain't about, because why have a DJ? Put your change in there and have them play music. Oh, this is my favorite song. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite song.
But everybody got a phone. They could plug their phone in and just.
The amount of people that come up to you and say, "Can you play this song for me, please?" I'm like, "From what? Your phone? Here, let's put it up to the mic." That works. What do you want?
Oh, like yo, you killing me.
Yeah,
Now,
you
do
are.
you have newer Serato or any of the other ones running?
Absolutely. I'm purely Serato.
Okay,
People realize Serato wasn't the first one out there with the digital.
right.
It was actually whatchamacallit that came out before Serato did. But man, that shit had such a massive lag. I remember the first time I heard it was called Itch. I think it was
Yeah, you talking about Scratch Live and all them.
no, what Scratch Live was Serato.
Okay,
Itch,
Itch.
Scratch
Yeah,
Life. Nah, it
I
was Itch,
remember
Scratch
that.
Life. They were all Serato. Before that, it was Stanton that came up with it. I forget what the name was, but it was Stanton.
Oh, ooh.
And I was at one of the Miami conventions, and somebody was handing me, and they were like, "Come to this booth and check this out." And the dude was DJing, and I was like, "That shit is hell off, man." I know you're trying to play him, and he was like, you could hear him scratching the record, whatever, and it was just the whole. I still have the vinyl too, and
Mm,
vinyl you cannot play with Serato. It's a different, controller vinyl.
really?
Yeah, but it was super dope looking and everything. I still have that, but
Wow.
old Serato, and then yeah, it was a later part. Man, which one was? Stanton had another
Yeah,
name.
I don't remember. I don't remember that
Yeah, it was
other
way
one you're
before
talking
that.
about. Yeah.
It was way before that. Now everybody got a record box, and Pioneer got their own.
Yep.
And they're all pretty much the same. It's like using a DAW.
Yep.
Must use digital audio works, whatever. It's all depending on bells and whistles. Everybody's coming to me, going, "Hey man, this brand new controller, it plays fucking records just like the other ones do." It's you spending all your money putting the weird bells and whistles and whatever. If you feel comfortable and you like it, then that's the one you're going to use.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how much bells and whistles you have, it's about the record you play.
Yep. And my boys, international DJ Tommy Lee, who's on here now. He just
Yeah, I saw
said
him. What's up, Tommy?
he just said that's him. And my other boy, heavy hitter DJ Cam, they have a show on his station, freeagentradio.com. They call it Back to Back. They start at 8 p.m. on Saturdays Eastern time, and it goes to 12 midnight. But like you're saying with the people playing the same music, when you listen to them, you hearing records out of the woodworks that you forgot you liked.
That's the whole. That's why you're gonna like listen to the All Stars. Because
Yeah.
the way I do it, I'm not trying to play what everybody else is. I know I have
Right.
nobody else is playing, and I know I have some records nobody else has,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to rip them off of vinyl.
Yes.
Find the MP3,
And
and
not share them with everybody.
and that stays private. Of course, I share with some of my friends.
Yeah. Somebody, but not
Ask me,
everybody. Don't pass
you
this
know,
out.
I even got a couple. I did an electro record just recently, and I put it out just to my friends. And if you want to play it, be my guest, because it has that flavor that you want to hear when you're playing freestyle, and it belongs in that age.
Right.
Freestyle electro records are back in the day. So you can sneak it in there and nobody would say, it doesn't fit or nothing like that, because it's got that sound. And that's,
Right.
I like the boom bap records, even today, whether it's a Tang record or whatever. I have kids and they listen to new stuff, and they always come trying to show daddy up. Hey, daddy, this is the new shit. You got to listen to this. And I listen to it, and it's like,
Like,
you know,
and I'm assuming that's how our parents were when we started initially listening to hip hop.
Absolutely. It's not even, you call that music. I remember my parents saying that, of course.
Mhm.
And I'm not trying to say that to my kids, but I'm just looking at it as a classic record.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Grandmaster GMX. GMS knows all about it. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Um, it's yep, rocking the planet. That's the one, rock. Um, I'm just saying that my parents said that, and I'm a little bit of an expert on hip hop.
just a little, right?
Just a little bit. I've been
You
playing.
ain't got a dope mix out, right?
No, no, no. But I'm saying I am, because I was the first dudes to play a lot of the records that So I saw the evolution happen.
Yeah.
I worked some of these records. I worked. I broke a lot of them on radio. I was on radio playing rap records when nobody else was playing rap records.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were playing. Some from Beastie Boys or some from LL Cool J or Run DMC. Those aren't record breakers. So you were playing Kumo D. I get it. For that time, but they weren't playing the Steady B's.
Right.
They weren't playing those kind of records. I was. That when my boy Joe Quicks, he's a little bit younger than me. So a couple of years before, after I graduated, he didn't graduate till like 2 years later. So when I was mixing those, I was like 18. I was mixing at KSOL, and he was going to school, and he was telling me that he was riding the bus back and forth, and the kids on the bus were trading my mixtape back and forth every day. Oh, I got Fridays mix. You got Wednesdays. Why is it on Wednesday and Friday when all the DJs today mix every day?
Uh-huh.
They can mix. You know why I couldn't mix every day? Because it took me 2 days to make 1 hour mix.
For real. I was
Okay.
talking to one of my boys and was like, yo, you make a tape, even if you mess up at the end, you start that whole thing over.
No, but we gotta do it in chunks and put it together, and come up with, what I'm saying? By that time, the sampler had just barely come out. You want to sample and loop and put things together and then edit it in, and you want to change tempos. You got to figure out how you're going to do that. Edit it in. You know what I'm saying? My boy do when he first got on KMEL, he won the battle. He used to do mixes. We come from the same school. He used to put Farrakhan speeches on top of beats. People used to lose their mind because nobody had done stuff like that before. And then he would put KRS-One, and he would break it down, and he would loop it and cut it and edit it. It would just, it took a lot. Now, get back, well, I'm not saying now you can't do anything, because now everything's on a laptop. When you go there, you got to play these records. That's it. There's no other. You can't bring your own vinyl and sneak it in. These are the records you're going to play. Back then, people were happy that, oh, yeah, I'm mixing an hour, coming with my own crate. I got an hour's worth of mix, and I'm live right there for you. Get the hell out. Never did any clubs, never did any venues, never did any of that stuff. Don't know what record is hot. They just want to be the first one to play the new Gangstar record and back that up and play the brand new Digging in the Crates record. And, they're all back to back to back. All of a sudden, the radio realized, hey, man, this don't sound like my radio station no more. Because I like to play the hot records, and you're just playing brand new records. You're not playing the hit records people tune in the radio to hear.
Right.
So the playlist came out, and the DJs were supposed to play these records because, you can't. Then now
I heard that goes on still. Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, that's the rules, man.
Well, my last question.
All right, bring it.
What other DJ needs to be on here to tell their story that you know? Give me two or three names.
Dude, DJ Revolution will kill it. He is one of the awesomest dudes out there to me. So Rev would definitely, he's a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Love Icy Eyes. I think he'll kill it. Um, who else would kill it? DJ Glenn Howery probably has stories and he's worked record labels and stuff like that. He'll be able to kill Alex Mejia, definitely going to be able to kill it. So that's four dudes already right off the bat. That's just local dudes. Up in the
Right.
you got DJ Ajax, you got my man DJ Blade in the 702. They've got stories for you, I'm sure.
I'm sure all DJs have stories.
Yeah. So,
You gonna help me? You gonna help me get some of these people's?
dude, between me and my man Jeff from BTP Media Group, we could probably
Yep.
all.
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Kwan, everybody from BTP Media Group. You know, he's the one that helped hook this up. So big ups to you, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you already talked to Ness, you talked to GMS, so those guys are already, put check mark in.
Me and Ness got to get a part two because he
Yeah,
wanted to
after you
leave to go
watch
watch
that Kung Fu flick,
and Kung Fu came on
because he's
Wednesday.
gonna ask you a couple of questions, you better be able to answer it, dude. And none of them questions are about acting because they suck.
He wanted to watch Kung Fu.
Act more surprised. What? More surprised. What? You can see them. Nobody in the real mind acts like that, dude.
Yo, we had a good time. This was a good show. This was a good. All of my interviews pretty much are good.
Well,
Some stand out more.
some great people.
Man.
That's why.
Yeah, and the stories that just come out, stuff you ain't remember in so long. You know, as you're talking, stuff is coming back. Like, yo, I remember this. I remember that, and that's what happens. And I just
some of the stories end up crisscrossing.
Right.
I try to dip in, so if somebody's listening to this interview and that interview, they don't hear the 5 things that I always talk about in every interview. I try, oh, well, I didn't know about this, or, oh, wow, I didn't know about that, because, I hear it's just for you. I used to work with the Beat Nuts, and me and Psycho Les, we were hanging out, and we were driving around LA, and he pulled out, he was like, dude, I just made this beat tape I want to play. You got a cassette deck? I'm like, yeah, you put in the cassette deck. I was, in a big ass SUV. We were driving around town to going to radio stations and whatnot. And he put this beat tape in there, and I just fell to the ground, realizing how dope this dude really is.
Yo, Beat Nuts is the most underrated. Yo.
Dude, he had, this is way long time ago, right? Remember Rob Bass? It Takes Two?
Yeah.
Beginning, he goes do 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 do.
Mm-hmm.
Do do do. Man, he had flipped that with a fat ass beat underneath it, and he would just go do 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 do. I was like, oh my fucking dude, I lost it, man. It was just like, yep, for real. My effing God, I can't believe it. And every beat he played was dope. Then we went record shopping together.
Mm.
We were up in Melrose, and there was a bookstore, record store, and it was like, man, we got to stop over there. So I'm over here, I'm going through all the jazz records, and he comes up with a bunch of Latin records, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? He said, Ice, you don't understand. All the bass lines are in these records.
Mm.
Let me go there. So after that, I started looking and, finding stuff that had, like Latin, just Latin stuff.
Yeah.
Mexican records, this record, that record. He was like, dude, all the bass lines I get are from these, dude. I was like,
nice.
Oh.
Yo, they have some dope stuff. We was listening to it a couple of weeks ago, like a bunch of cuts off of there. I was in Jersey, and we were just listening to the Beat Nuts beats, and just like, yo, and some of them I didn't hear before.
No, none of those records, none of the stuff that he had on the tape, I ever heard after that.
Mm.
I think Snoop did that record later, like 4 or 5 years later. He did that. But his were like, compared to what I heard, it was nothing at all,
Right.
Because it's the beat nuts, man. The
I
name
know.
nuts. All right, I'm gonna keep talking, dude. I'm gonna cut you right here, dude, so we can get back to our lives. Everybody, thank you for being on here with us,
Yeah, thank you. Thank
hanging
you,
out.
DJ Prince Ice, for sharing some time with us, coming on live. I made this platform for us DJs slash producers, because that's the natural progression of a DJ, is to go producer. But this is strictly for DJs, and they have stories. A lot of them don't get a chance to interview. That's why this DJ interview is for them.
Name
So
into that.
we making it happen. Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate you for
Thank
having
you,
us.
everybody that showed
Absolutely.
up and seen the live. Thank you for the people who's watching the replay. And we can close this out right now. I thank you again, DJ Prince Ice. Hold on for me for a second. Let me close this out, and I will chat with you in a second.
You got it. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me.
So again, this is Harry the Bigdog, and this is the DJ interview. We are here on Tuesdays, 8-ish Eastern time. I wanted to thank everybody for showing up, and we'll see you soon.